The first gen Honda Insight is known for being one of the most fuel-efficient vehicles ever available in the US market. It held the title for the highest EPA fuel economy rating for 15 years straight, 61 miles per gallon city and 70 miles per gallon highway. Earlier this year, we put that to the test when we purchased an Insight of our own, and after some modifications to make it as efficient as possible, we attempted to drive it from Virginia to New York City and back, without stopping. And we technically succeeded. Since then, the Insight has been reverted back to stock and has just been sitting. And that's when I had the genius idea. What if we tried to get the worst gas mileage in the most efficient vehicle? So back when the Benz drove this Insight from here in Central Virginia up to New York City, they averaged about 65 miles per gallon. But I think I can do significantly worse than that. Devonte, what do you think we can get for gas mileage?
23.
23 miles a gallon. That's pretty ambitious. If we're gonna go for that, I think we're gonna need to make some slight modifications to the Insight. All right, so we got the Insight in the shop, and we're gonna be doing some modifications that'll hopefully make the gas mileage abysmal. But first off, I'm not gonna touch the hybrid battery pack. I don't wanna remove it, and if you remove a hybrid battery pack, it's no longer a Honda Insight. So let's move on to some smaller modifications first. So by removing these rear tire covers, we're actually going to increase drag along the back of the car. The wheels are covered normally to reduce drag along the side of the car, but now that we remove them, there'll be more drag, so we'll get worse gas mileage. So this right here is a Bridgestone RE92 mounted to a stock Honda Insight wheel. Now this wheel and tire combination is known to get 10 miles per gallon better than any other wheel and tire combination. So by taking this off, we're going to be making the car get worse gas mileage, guaranteed. So when the Benz took their last trip to New York City, they added this aluminum undertray under here to increase gas mileage and reduce drag. But since we're going for the opposite here, we're gonna remove it to increase drag and reduce gas mileage. All right, these right here are some roto-slip streams off of Ben's Civic when he drove from Key West to Nova Scotia. And we're gonna throw these on the Insight. They're bigger and they're heavier, so this should make the gas mileage way worse. All right, so we finished up all the wonderful modifications to this Honda Insight, and now we're gonna go take it out on the road and see how bad it does. Our goal was 23 miles per gallon. See if we can get even close to that. So now that we're out on the road, we're gonna be employing some techniques to hopefully reduce the gas mileage as much as possible. For example, we're gonna be completely ignoring the dash indicator telling me when to upshift and downshift. That's just not what we're gonna need for getting the worst gas mileage. So I'm just gonna ignore it by going flat out everywhere, which is fine because the Insight is so slow that it's almost like just regular traffic accelerating. So that's gonna be our main technique we're gonna use to hopefully destroy the gas mileage figure on this car. So when their Benz did their trip to New York City, they were going for maximum efficiency. So they had all the weight stripped out and they were doing the best they could to get the best gas mileage. But you know, that's not what you're gonna be using a car for normally. Like we're gonna be getting groceries and stuff like that. So we're gonna give this Insight a little bit more of a real world scenario. So Ben sent me to go pick up a new battery for his MR2. This should hopefully add about 30 pounds. been driving the inside around town for a little bit, and looks like we're averaging about 41 miles per gallon. Now that's a pretty big dent in the EPA estimate, but I think we can do way better. So we're at our local home improvement store to pick up some things for the office to hopefully make the gas mileage a little worse than 41. Now who said the Honda Insight couldn't be a work truck? I think the 400 pounds of concrete may have affected the suspension's performance. So it turns out that weight isn't affecting gas mileage that much. So we've moved to Aero instead. So with the mattress on top of the car, we're already having significantly worse gas mileage. We're down 4 miles per gallon and we've only been driving it for like 5 or so miles. So it seems like the mattress and the aerodynamics that it hinders is like a very big issue. And also the acceleration has gotten significantly worse too. I feel like I'm pushing against a wall now with the mattress on top. After driving this lovely Honda Insight around town with our modifications and aero package that we put on the car, I can confidently say that we did terrible. What started with just some wheels and tires and removing a panel in the back and ended with a massive mattress on top of the car, we averaged roughly 30 miles per gallon in the city. That's about half the EPA estimated city mile per gallon. Maybe it wasn't as low as Devonte's 23 miles per gallon we predicted, but I'd say we did pretty well. So what did we learn by driving this car around? Well, it seems that wheels and tires and weight doesn't seem to really do that much for gas mileage. We lost about 10 to 15 with the wheels and tires, and then the weight only lost about 5. It seems like the real killer is aero. Just know that anything on the roof will probably affect your gas mileage pretty badly, even like roof racks and stuff like that. But I'm not good at outros, so like and subscribe, I guess. And I'm gonna go back to the office. So if you want a Honda Insight of your own, we have reverted ours back to stock. It has the stock Bridgestone R92s and the stock wheels and everything, so it should be back to EPA estimated, and details are in the description for all the other stuff about it. And we're located in Central Virginia, so if you want it, come get it.